Broadcasts of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Good evening, fans of Kuala here at the Autumn Sports Complex as we bring you another showdown in the 10th season of ASEAN Basketball League. It's the one of our basketball local pilot, Mono, against all Pavilion, San Miguel, Alab Pilipinas. What is live on the virtual playground. And now let's go out the teams. First,
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Live, hope everyone for the Black Bears finding
Number 14, Macau Wolf. Number 15, Justin Rose. Number 22, Michael Morrison. Number 33, Macau Saigon. Number 26, Formosa Dreamers. Number 77, Number 79,
Hello everybody and good evening. We are coming to you from inside the Caloocan Sports Complex right here in Caloocan City in the Philippines to bring you the action of Season 10 of your ASEAN Basketball League Rise to Greatness. And we have these two teams featured for tonight's matchup. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, the home team at 6-3 right now, going up against the visiting Mono Vampire Basketball Club of Thailand. Now sits at the number 1 spot of our team standings with an 8-3 record at this point of the season. You guys are joined by Martin Javier. Good evening, everybody. Today I'll be working alongside Mr. Game Time Mix Bustos here in the coverage. Mix, welcome to the coverage here. Good evening. How are you?
Doing great, Martin. Great to be here. Great to be here in Caloocan Sports Complex. Again, another Alab home game.
That's right. It is going to be interesting because these two teams will be meeting for the 3rd time this season. Right now, they're 1-1 in their season series. But before anything else, before we go into the details, let's take a quick scan of the team standings. Let's see what situation both teams are in at this point of our tournament.
As we can see, Martin, Mono Vampire and Taipei Fubon Braves both have 8 wins apiece. 3rd and 4th is the Alab Pilipinas. And Formosa Dreamers both have 6 wins. But then at the middle of the pack, it is a tight race all throughout as both Macau teams are identical, 5-7. At that spot, KL Dragons is at 4-3, while the Singapore Slingers, Hong Kong Eastern, and the Saigon Heat are at the cellar. It is unusual, Martin, for these teams, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Hong Kong Eastern, and Saigon Heat, to be at this part of the team standings because usually in the past years they have been at the top. And right now, Alab Pilipinas is comfortably sitting at 3rd and hoping for a win for Alab Pilipinas today.
That's right, and that's a situation right now. You're right. Singapore, Hong Kong, Saigon, this is unfamiliar territory for them. They're off to a slow start this year. They're still trying to adjust with the talent and the level of competition that we have here in season number 10. But, trust the process for them. They're going to be able to adjust to this and they're going to be able to rack up some wins. But for both of these teams, Mono Vampire, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, right now they're 1-1 in their season series. But before we go and proceed to our discussion here, let's go first to our Coliseum announcer, Top Juliano, for the introduction of the starters.
National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pelas na silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay, lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting sa manlulupig. Di ka pasisiil sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mang-aapi ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Back to the broadcast right after the Philippine national anthem. Both teams at midcourt right now. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and Mono Vampire Basketball Club. And this is a team from Thailand. These teams 1-1 in their season series so far. Mono taking care of the first one, and then the second one went to San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, which was also held here, but that was back in San Juan inside the Phil Oil Flying V Center. Now San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they are coming off a tough win on the road against Hong Kong Eastern. They avoided the complete meltdown here, Mix, because they led it by as many as 18 points in the first half. Hong Kong with a furious rally in the second half, even led it by 3 in the final moments, but ultimately Alab Pilipinas able to hang on.
28 assists and 25 bench points. That was the key for Alab Pilipinas in getting that game. Actually, Martin, Alab led early on and took control in the first 3 quarters, but Hong Kong came back in the fourth and with a crucial rally and had a comfortable lead. Good thing for Alab Pilipinas, they were able to answer back, and it was a great thing. It was a great defense by Jeremiah Gray. He showed some clutch defense in the end game. He blocked a potential game-winning 3 by the Hong Kong Eastern, and they also made a living inside the paint. 44-34, plus 10 on points in the paint. Fast break points also 17-5, and as I mentioned a while ago, 25 bench points. That was a crucial factor for Alab Pilipinas. That's why they got usual production other than their imports. That's why they came away with a win.
Mono Vampire, on the other hand, also coming off a road win against the Singapore Slingers, 67-65, gutting it out against the defense of Singapore in that game. But this year, Alab Pilipinas, well, they have a king and a prince in their lineup right now. Prince Williams, the newcomer, well, across-the-board production here. And of course, Nick King, ever reliable for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, still producing consistent numbers for Coach Jimmy Alapat.
In 9 games of Alab Pilipinas, Nick King was there, averaging monster numbers for him. He had 24-7-1, as you mentioned, Martin. The newcomer in Prince Williams, it will be a key for them to have to be able to have that 1-2 punch in terms of offense. That was the first game of Prince Williams, 14-6-4, but Nick King is averaging 19.5 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.1 assists per game.
Now, these 2 players will be key for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas tonight as they battle the #1 team, current #1 team right now in ABL 10, Mono Vampire from Thailand, holding an 8-3 record, and it's because of the ever-stellar play of the world import that's been fueling this Mono Vampire offense. Mike Singletary, yet another day in the office against Singapore. He was the only guy in double figures in that game, the only guy who actually exploded against the defense of Singapore. 24 points on the road at the OCBC Arena.
He's been and around in the ABL and a proven veteran in this league. Actually, Martin, the first game of Mono Vampire, they blew Alab Pilipinas out 111-76. He had 19-11 that game, and it was more of a vindication for Alab Pilipinas. In their next game, they beat Mono Vampire, but then Michael Singletary has always been a proven scorer. He's averaging 23 points, 10.7 rebounds, and close to 6 assists per game.
Had 17 rebounds against the Singapore Slingers, and that was up against the big men, especially Anthony McLean, and on the road as well from Mike Singletary. So expect that kind of production, that kind of night from Mike Singletary, but I'm pretty sure the home team, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, prepared for that very well going into this game. Now, this is going to be a key matchup in the season. Third time they're meeting. Let's see how they will fare against each other tonight. It's now time for us to meet the starters from both teams. Back to the coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, and starters from both teams here. Usual faces for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, going with the 3 world imports. Of course, you got Deguara, you got Williams, Nick King, joining our Jeremiah Gray, and at point guard, one of the best passers in the league, and Jason Brickman, our officials for today's matchup. Singapore, Indonesia, Taiwan represented here. And Mono Vampire, on the other hand, going full force here with Mike Singletary, Mike Morrison, and Preston Knowles in the fold here, alongside Tyler Lam. So that's going to be an interesting lineup here for Mono Vampire. But also starting is Naratip Bunserm, who is a lengthy player, local player from Mono Vampire. And usually in the season, you know, we've seen Tyler Lam actually come off the bench, but tonight he's going to be starting.
Yeah, they know what's at stake, Martin. Mono Vampire has to start strong.
That's right. You cannot start slow against Alab Pilipinas, rather. Prince Williams, first possession for the home team here. Alab Pilipinas, again at 6-3 going into tonight's matchup. Prince Williams had several of those in the last game against Hong Kong. Deguara getting the offensive rebound. Quickly double team, goes to the other side. And one more time for Big Sam to open the scoring in this game.
I like Sam Deguara's hustle and patience. That was a great showing of the dribble drive offense by Coach Jimmy Alab. You know, he's been there. He's always been there inside the paint. He knows what to do, even though he gets double. A great show of patience by Sam Deguara.
7'6", Maltese big man, former world import as well of Mono Vampire a couple of seasons ago. Singletary knocks it down from mid-range.
I like the jump shot of Michael Singletary. Every time he gets some space, he jumps high, he has long hands. Impossible to block his jump shot.
Yeah, Singletary is not flashy, but he gets the job done. Always had that reliable jump shot. Williams short on the jumper. Singletary grabs his first board. And play is broken up by King. Williams tried to save it, but he was already outside. It's our go for her first report. Joining us here is our courtside reporter, Miss Ayana Perlas. Ayana?
Martin and Migs, if there is one thing Coach Jimmy Alapag always reiterates to the Alab Pilipinas team, it is to have that control the tempo and run the plays mindset, which is exactly what the team lacked in their last game against Hong Kong, which led to a 1-point win. From being too confident and relaxing in the last game, Coach Jimmy mentioned that sure, he can express his frustrations to the team now, but at the end of the day, it's still up to the players to wake up. And most especially in today's game, going against the current #1 team in the league. What do you think, Martin and Migs?
Thank you so much, Ayana. Well, they're coming off a character game against Hong Kong Eastern because they were able to avoid the complete meltdown. They were still able to get the win. But given that they were able to lead it by 18 points as Big Sam swats that one away, not in his house. All right. Let's take a look at first this move by Morrison, trying to make his move. And that's his usual move, talking about Mike Morrison. But Sam Deguara just swats that one away. Too long, too big for Mike Morrison. Tyler Lam off the inbound, nothing but nets.
When it's baseline inbounds, Martin, you have to look at the switches. You have to look at the picks. And that was a great pick for Tyler Lam. That's why he was open for the jump shot.
Oh, Williams slipped. Gray recovers, missing the mark though. Preston Knowles starting it. Singletary. Mike against King. Kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler Lam against Jeremiah Gray. Good local matchup here we have. Over 2 minutes gone. Tyler Lam from mid-range. Back rims to shot. Preston Knowles comes away with it. An offensive rebound and a fresh 14 for Mono Vampire. Knows, couple of hesitations, and Morrison throws it down.
That's the way to finish against Sam DeGuara. Wow.
And that's why they got him. Mike Morrison, look at this. Pick and roll action. And the pass, pocket pass by Preston Knowles. Look at that, one more time, the two-hander.
That started, Martin, with the screen of Mike Morrison. He got Jeremiah Gray out. That's why Sam DeGuara was forced to help and go outside against Preston Knowles. When he saw the opening for Mike Morrison, Sam DeGuara was too late on the defense. That's why he was able to finish hard.
That was a rare open opportunity for the slam for Mike Morrison. And that's his first basket and free throw off the ball game. Mono Vampire ahead by 5 early on here. Nick King tracks it down, lobs it up to Big Sam. DeGuara likes this matchup. Oh, that was a hard bump. And they're gonna call this one as a blocking foul against Mike Morrison. Yeah, it's called against Mike. Let's take a look at that. Feels like Sam lowered his shoulder, Mix. But
it's tough to call,
Yeah.
especially against a tall and hefty big man in Sam DeGuara.
that's right. So that's a fair call. Brickman sends it to DeGuara. Oh, shooting the jumper. In and out for Big Sam. Rebound goes to Singletary.
Well, Mono Vampire is Sam's former team.
That's right. So they know how he operates. Oh, Morrison catching the lob and finishes off the glass.
Some extra words given after that finish.
So early caller in the ball game. As early as the first 3 minutes, Williams stepped back. Jumper is good. That's a three-pointer for Prince. Alab Pilipinas within 4. Bit of a dry spell experience by this lineup earlier. Tyler floats it up and in. Second bucket of the game for Tyler.
I like what Mono Vampire is doing. They're really forcing Mike Morrison out for Sam DeGuara to help out and take him out of the paint.
Jeremiah Gray missing the mark, and ball tapped out of bounds. Ball going back to Mono Vampire here. They have the 11-5 lead. And here's a step back earlier. Prince Williams left open for the three-pointer. 6:25 remaining in the first quarter here. 6-point lead for the visiting squad. Lamb, Knowles. Oh, finding Morrison. They kick it out to Lamb for 3. Lamb knocks it down. And Mono Vampire off to a fantastic start here. Tyler Lamb with 7 points, accounting for half of the total right now of Mono Vampire. They take the 9-point lead going into this gap. Inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. I believe this is a 7-0 run right now for Mono Vampire. Jason Brickman struggled from the field against Hong Kong Eastern. He was 1 out of 9. I think he was only able to make it or make the shot in the second half. But Jason Brickman did have 16 assists, and that's what you get from Jason Brickman. Doesn't score a lot. At least he doesn't want to.
Yes, that's true. Well, that's the job of a Jason Brickman. He's one of the rare breed of traditional point guards. He doesn't really need to score much, but those 16 assists, that can translate to 32 or 40 points. That's what he does best. He's averaging close to 9 assists per ball game, Martin.
That's right. Jason Brickman, again, I think the top assist man right now of the league. Fantastic showing so far in his first season in an Alab Pilipinas jersey. But again, they're coming off a character game against Hong Kong, like Ayana was pointing out earlier in her report, and they were able to weather the storm on the road, and they're hoping to carry that momentum here. They're hoping that they already learned the lessons in that game against Hong Kong Eastern, but they're facing a different monster That is Mono Vampire, and that's a free seconds violation called against Sam De Guara here. That's another turnover for Alab Pilipinas.
You can really see, Martin, that Coach Jimmy Alapag wants Sam De Guara to be the first option. But at the same time, they have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of tools to generate the offense in King and Williams.
Yeah, but so far, limited touches from those guys. Morrison losing it. De Guara saving it. Gray to King. King sidesteps, puts it up, gets fouled in the process. He heads to the line for a couple of shots. That's going to be a personal charge against Mike Singletary.
Well, Alab is fast. Alab can play defense, and if they can push the tempo like this, keep the defense on their heels, and that may be the key in getting back in this game.
So Nick King to the free throw line. Solid season so far for King. 24 points in their previous game. And he has been, the solid world import. As the one who was retained at least at this point. Because Wyatt is gone. Oh, he misses the second though. Singletary pushing. Bounce pass to Morrison, who blows the layup. Jason Brickman is on the move. Gets it to King. King again, Singletary. Denied by Mike. Oh, snatched away by Preston Knowles. Mono off and running. They don't have the numbers. So Lam will go cross court to Mike Singletary, who will wait. He will reset the offense here. Mike going to Preston Knowles for three. And he swishes that one through.
It was because of the mismatch on the switch. Singletary was against Brickman and against a slower matchup of Preston Knowles. That's why he got open for that shot.
Oh, good cut coming from Jeremiah Gray. Count that one, plus the foul for Maya.
I like how Alab Pilipinas will utilize Maya Gray. So we can see this. That was a good backdoor cut. Great read on Mono's defense. That's why he was open and took it strong to the hole.
Yeah, because Jeremiah Gray, can do a lot of things on the court. Plays above the rim as well.
Yeah.
Very athletic. And you saw the 2 blocks in the end game he did against, or he got against Hong Kong Eastern. That shows you about his defensive prowess, defensive arsenal as well.
Jordan Heading is in the ball game. Phil Australian. Went to college in the US.
That's right. Heading is in the ball game, good 3-point shooter as well. Bunsen going to Preston Knowles on the high-low. He likes that matchup with Jason Brickman at the post. And Knowles will be fouled here by Jason, but Alab Pilipinas not yet in the penalty, only a second team foul for the White Shirts. Knowles to Bunsen. Bunsen going to Morrison, mid-range jumper is good over Big Sam.
That's the way to go. If you're Mono Vampire, hit the shots from the perimeter and get Sam De Guara uncomfortable.
And De Guara is left alone. He rips the rim.
Mike Morrison not liking that. He claimed that he was pushed off. No call there. Good thing the ring was intact.
Yeah. My goodness. I thought it was going to fall down. De Guara with the retaliation against Morrison. De Guara. Morrison got the bump. Did not make the shot. And here comes Jason Brickman. Brickman going to Williams. King is at the post against Mike Singletary. King is backing up. Williams is open. Williams,
Great read by Nick King. He saw the cutting Prince Williams at the corner. We thought that he was going to drop it down to Sam De Guara, but then great read by Prince Williams at that end.
King taking care of business. Second triple of the game, but that is quickly answered by Mike Singletary.
What's been working so far with Mono Vampire is how they set their screens. There were numerous occasions that Lamb and Singletary were open because of the screens.
That's right. King inside. Morrison bothering that shot. De Guara gets the offensive rebound. And we have a foul on the floor here. If that's on Mike, that's going to be his second, but it doesn't look like it's going to be on Mike Singletary. Let's take a look at this replay. This is what you were mentioning earlier. Oh, this was the jam by Big Sam. Yeah, that was what Morrison was contesting rather, and he was pushed away, but no foul was given. And Teguara will be replaced first. He will take a rest. Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser on the court now for the first time.
A sigh of relief, perhaps, for the defense of Mono Vampire.
Yeah. Teguara is such a threat here in the first quarter, although Alab trying to turn up the pace here as King misses the triple try. Chichai Anandi also in the game, very talented local player also from Thailand. Part of the national team as well.
With Tyler Lamb.
That's right. Played in the SEA Games. Oh, Morrison with quick spin. Good steady defense by Ganuelas-Rosser. Morrison doesn't run back down. And Jason Brickman drops it in from the corner.
I think Jason Brickman was ready. He hesitated for a bit, but then that's his sheer touch.
And Ala Pilipinas forcing the turnover. King on the move, getting fouled by Moses Morgan.
2 times. Almost a travel, but then he got away with it.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Nick King going to Jason Brickman, who had all day to shoot for that one. He swishes that one through, and the lead is down to 5 for Mono Vampire. Back to the action. Here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, and Mike Morrison on your screens again, replacing Ryan Watkins several games ago. Look at his averages here, solid numbers, and this is why they got Mike Morrison, and that's primarily because he is able to get that defensive presence in the painted area, averaging 2 blocks per game alongside the double-double.
Well, not much on the point production for Mike Morrison in their last game against the Singapore Slingers, only with 7 points, had 14 rebounds, but now he's starting out strong. He's starting out to be aggressive. He's battling it out in the defensive end against Sam Deguara. No, it takes a lot to bump the big man and at the same time to be productive also on offense. And so far, Mike Morrison has been doing a great job on both ends.
This is his 4th game in a Mono Vampire jersey. And those are the averages you saw earlier. Morrison coming from George Mason University. A little bit undersized as well, or undersized as well, rather. Same with Ryan Watkins, both 6'9", but he has a longer wingspan. That's why he's able to create that intimidation at the middle spot. Nick King missing on the first free throw. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas on the comeback trail here, after being down big earlier against Mono. Nick King knocking down the second. Lawrence Domingo coming in, replacing King for a breather towards the end of the first quarter. So Williams, the only remaining world import on the floor right now for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Morgan to Freddie Lees, who just checked in. Leash, baseline move. Changachon with a putback. That's Big Tarawat scoring in the deuce. Williams, no good. And Morgan gets it. Moses to Freddy. They go to Chichai. No. Back to Ananti. He chooses to drive. Floater is good for Chichai Ananti.
I like how the locals, Thai locals, have been productive in both sequences.
Yeah. So Chichai Ananti scoring the deuce, stretching the lead back up to 8. Domingo to Williams. He drives baseline. He loses possession. Freddie Leash on the move. Freddie, drop off to Chichai. That is broken up. Ala Pilipinas with the ball. They have the numbers. Williams fakes the pass all the way. No good, but Ganuelas-Rosser right there to clean up the mess. And add a foul to the equation there. He's got a free throw coming up.
As we can see this, Prince Williams kind of hesitated, not much spacing on the 2-on-1. That's why he decided to go all the way. But then nobody boxing out Brandon Rosser. And good thing for him, he got to end one.
Yeah. Ganuelas-Rosser at the free throw line. Anday Karakut checking in Fresh grad of De La Salle University here in the Philippines. So Ganuelos Rosser at the free throw line, couldn't complete it. And Karakut is at the point guard position for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He is checking Freddy Leash. Singletary. A minute and 20 remaining in the opening frame. You got Freddy here against Karakut. Leash, the Thai American, looking for that pick and roll with Chantachon. Good denial. An anti-difficult shot. He forced that one up. Moses Morgan ran out of time because it did not hit the rim. So shot clock violation against Mono.
Martin, it'll be interesting on how they will utilize Jordan Heading. Jordan Heading actually played point guard when he was in university.
Right.
And he's playing the 2 guard now, but he has good shooting also, has good hands.
That's right.
And can knock down some big shots.
In most of the games, he's played the 2. So he's more of a, well, he rarely drives, he's more of a spot-up shooter.
But he can play the 1 too.
Yeah, correct. Karakut going to King. King catches the lob. King, pass taken by Ananti. Ananti cross court. Singletary. Oh, denied by Domingo. Lodo with the denial. Karakut. Heading. They go to Nick King. King carving space. Bounce pass inside. Domingo. Too strong.
Transition defense is the name of the game. There have been a couple of sequences that Alab was late. That's why Chantachon and Ananti were able to score a few moments ago.
20 to 26. About 2 seconds differential between the clocks. Leash, a screen from Big. Leash to Mike. Singletary missing the mark. A little bit too strong on the 3-point attempt. So 3.1 remaining for Alab Pilipinas to manufacture a shot. Let's take a look at the rejection by Lawrence Domingo. Perfectly timed block coming from Lodo.
3 seconds remaining for Alab Pilipinas. That's why Freddy Leash is at the front court to prevent a running Alab. But still a lot of time is 3 seconds.
Yeah, Karakut gets it across the heave. Almost went in. Went for the banker there, but it was off the mark. And after the first 10 minutes of play here, it is the visiting Mono Vampire maintaining the 6-point lead mix after a very action-packed first quarter.
It's been Sam Deguara against Mike Morrison, and also Preston Knowles knocking down some big shots. But then Mike Singletary has been the key for Mono Vampire early on. And now it's a question of for Alab Pilipinas if they can dominate without their big man.
Mono Vampire in the first quarter shooting 55%, scorching hot. But San Miguel Alab Pilipinas only 35%, but they're still able to find ways to hang around and make it a manageable lead going into the second frame, which is coming up next, right here on SNA. We're back in a bit. To the coverage here in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. You guys are catching the action live right now on SNA. It is San Miguel Alab Pilipinas going up against the visiting Mono Vampire of Thailand, and Mono with a 26-20 lead against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas here, carrying the 6-point lead here in the second frame. You guys are joined by Martin Javier Mix Bustos and Ayana Perlas joining us at courtside as well. All right, Mix, what was the story of the first quarter? How was Mono able to build this lead?
It was because of Mike Morrison and the aggressiveness of Preston Knowles and Mike Singletary. At the same time, Alab Pilipinas focused on Sam Deguara. They were able to make a run, and now he's back. It is a question again, as I mentioned, of how they will be able to dominate that paint with Deguara in.
But as well as Mono has shot in the first quarter, 52% rather, from the field. Alab Pilipinas staying within 6 points to begin the second frame, but this is going to be a foul on Canuelas Rosser. So that's going to be his first in the first 15 seconds of the second frame.
This will be a challenge now for Coach Jimmy Alapag. Besides Deguara, players not known to be offensively sound.
Yeah. Let's see who's going to be the focal point.
That's true.
Later on the offensive end for the home squad. Meantime, Morgan back rims the triple try, and Canuelas Rosser comes away with it. And here comes Karakut.
Most likely this will be a straight post to Deguara, looking for him.
Karakut, bothered by Ananti. Domingo going to Rosser, who is open. No good. Domingo hustling for that offensive rebound. They immediately locate Big Sam, and why not? You see him that close to the basket, you instantly feed him the ball.
At the same time, it was because of his seal, his big heft. The defense couldn't really recover.
This is a lineup that they can work with Big Sam on the court, Tirawat taking him at the post. Freddy Leash, though, with a quick retaliation for Mono. Karakut zigzagging. Andre trying to find a teammate here. No ball movement so far from Alab. It is Lodo putting it on the floor. Domingo stuck. Vigil. Oh, there's a foul away from the ball. And I believe, is it going to be against Big Sam? Yeah, it's going to be on Sam Deguara.
Credit Chantachon for forcing that offensive foul.
Yeah, really pressuring and getting physical with Sam Deguara at the post. Look at that. Sam trying to find his position. And then that was the big hand to the face.
Or former teammates.
Yeah,
just
former
like what they do
teammates.
in practice.
I'm pretty sure Chantachon did not miss that. Morrison getting fouled on his way up. And he was smacked in the face. Or on the head at least. He is still down here. Hard foul given up by Lawrence Domingo. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see what happened. Oh, yeah. That was by his forehead. I think the right side of his forehead.
I believe that was a duty foul by Lawrence Domingo to stop more or less the momentum. But we see him going to Mike Morrison, apologizing.
No, it's all good.
All good. He was going for the ball actually,
Yeah.
but I think because of the momentum and because of the turn of events, that split second he was, hit the head.
Yeah. And Morrison is a lot longer and taller than Lawrence Domingo.
But that was borderline, Martin. Could have been called for an unsportsmanlike.
Correct.
So
Correct.
lucky break for Alab.
In some situation, it could have been called as an unspo. You're right. All right, let's go first to Ayana Perlas. Go ahead, Ayana.
Just like what you mentioned earlier, Martin and Migs, a different monster the Mono Vampires are, most especially with their newly added import, Mike Morrison, who is known for being a mobile big man. But even with this, and only had 1 day to prepare for today's match, Coach Jimmy Alapag reminded the team to bring the lessons they learned from their last game against Hong Kong, given the similarities they have with today's Thailand team, which are their shooters, and to imitate that performance they had in their last game against the Vampires, wherein they controlled the pace that contained the team's transition defense. Back to you, Mix and Martin.
Thank you so much, Ayana. Well, that's easier than done because this is a very talented Mono Vampire team. You talk about Tyler Lam, Freddie Leash, Singletary, Preston Knowles, alongside Mike Morrison and the locals, Moses Morgan as well. And these players have found a lot of success in the ABL in the past seasons. They're used to, playing with these conditions and to come together as a team. And that's the thing for Mono going into the season. They are more cohesive this year because they spent more time together. Last year they were built, but going into the off-season, they joined some off-season tournaments, so they had a full year to prepare for this one.
And any team that would undergo such experience, not just playing games, but being together, that's why they are at 8-3 right now.
Correct.
You mentioned these names, Martin. Moses Morgan, Mike Singletary, Tyler Lamb, Freddie Leash. These guys have been in the ABL for quite some time, and they know what it's like. As we take a look at this again, Sam Deguara turned his back. Lawrence Domingo was actually late. He was going for the ball.
Yeah, just was unable to get to it in time. And when his arm was on its way down, it hit the head of Mike Morrison. But let's see if they're gonna upgrade this one to an unsportsmanlike foul. All right, so officially that's gonna be an unsportsmanlike foul on Lawrence Domingo. So that will mean 2 free throws plus possession for Mono Vampire. And Morrison looks shaken up right there on the bench of Mono.
Because no matter how big you are, if that kind of hit, you take it to the face, you take it to the head, it's really gonna shake you up, and you need some rest and hopefully no concussion.
Yeah, that's right.
On Mike Morrison.
So he is resting right now, replaced here on the court. So more time on the bench for Mike Morrison as he tries to recover and hopefully comes back in this one. 4th game in the ABL. That's a hard smack he took coming from Lawrence Domingo. Leash, in the meantime, play resumes here. 8:15 left. Freddie Leash. The fine intended, or the pass rather, intended for Singletary is broken up. Vigil, thinking about it. Vigil, pounded by Ananti. They go to Ganuela's roster. Back to Vigil, and he was fouled on his way to the basket. So that's going to be a foul on Chichai Anati. Here is the move by Louis Vigil. Got it back from Ganuela's roster, and then Chichai got a piece of the arm in that sequence. Louis Vigil at the free throw line.
That was the result by the cutting Vigil. He went for a give and go, but the good thing for him, he got the pump, 2 free throws. It's still a question now of how Alab Pilipinas can run. We hear this so many times in basketball that you cannot just trade baskets.
Correct.
Every time you get a basket, you have to make a stop and create your own momentum. That is what is key now for Alab.
That's right. And you still have Singletary. Oh, he's going to be replaced by Morrison. So that was a quick rest for Michael Morrison. Back on the court. Migsam still on the bench. So 7:54 remaining in the first half. Tyler Lamb. Lamb lobs it up. Morrison, no. Tip in, no. And couldn't get it on the third try as well. Williams flips it up. No good, but Lawrence Domingo tips it back in.
That's what I'm talking about. You have to create your own momentum. And that is also by running the break on the transition offense.
4 quick points for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Mike Morrison against Ganuela's roster. Leash, back to Morrison. Morrison scores that one off the glass.
You know what's more challenging in defending Mike Morrison? As Lawrence Domingo wants to go 2 for 2. Mike Morrison is a lefty, so it's tougher to guard.
Yeah. Morrison being handled by Ganuela's roster on the defensive side. Reversed by Lamb is off.
Let's go, Alab. Let's go.
Rickman has the rock. Oh, trying to find Ganuela's roster, but Tyler Lamb got to it. And he breaks up the play, taps it out of bounds. Ball staying on the side of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And this is the tip in earlier. Prince Williams on the attempt. Back Lawrence Domingo going deep for that tip in.
You know, going for tip ins is an art form.
Yeah.
You don't usually make it at the first try.
And Lawrence Domingo, well,
that was a
that's his
challenging
job.
angle.
Correct,
right?
correct. That was way under the basket. Gray puts it up in hand. Jeremiah Gray driving.
I agree. It's going to be the X factor for this game for Alab Pilipinas when nothing seems to work. with your main guys, Gray has to be open and he has to be ready and knocking down some big shots.
Jeremiah Gray scoring on the layup, trimming the lead. Down to 4 here. Ball in the hands of Preston Knowles. Knowles. Lamb for 3. Lamb too strong. Ball goes to Maya. And here comes Jason Brickman.
Let's go, Ala.
Brickman
Let's
sets the
go.
table now for Alab Pilipinas. Brickman gets inside. Vigil. Gray moving closer. Williams hesitating on the free. Here is King, and he is open. Too strong. Nick King still struggling with his 3-point shots. Singletary. Hello with Morrison for the jam.
Like nothing happened. Mike Morrison always finishes hard and strong. And credit that veteran move. Just a little push off. His defender went over the top.
And Mike Morrison is in double figures with 11. Jason Brickman stroking it from downtown. A little bit more offensive-minded tonight is Jason Brickman.
And he has to drive that offense, not just more on passing, but he has to be a threat for the defense to help free up his teammates.
That's right. 2 3-pointers already for Jason Brickman.
Defense.
Morrison against King at the post. He likes this matchup and he will take it. That's a good crisp move
Let's
coming
go,
from
Ala.
Morrison.
Let's go.
In single coverage against Morrison, maybe one thing to stop him, you can go double on him and make
Yeah.
others shoot.
They might have to double here, you're right, Mix. Because he has been unstoppable in this stretch. Brickman against Knowles here, trying to shake off Preston. Brickman going to King. King, not the first step, no good. Maya, no good on the putback.
Kind of forced shot by King, Martin.
Yeah. So, not the best shot.
Defense.
No ball movement for Alab Pilipinas in that sequence of these.
Defense.
Singletary missing on the first one. But Moses Morgan coming up with a rebound and fouled on the second attempt. Let's take a look at the high-low play here. And Morrison fully taking advantage of that matchup with Nick King. Throws that one down.
Martin, the reason why Nick King fronted Mike Morrison is because Mike Morrison can just have an easy basket if he were to play that traditional defense. But then Mike Morrison, he knew that he was up, just a quick nudge.
Yeah.
Good lob by Singletary, quick connection by Singletary and Morrison.
I was about to say that was a good pass by Mike Singletary,
Yep.
getting it at the right height
True.
for Morrison to reach and put it out of reach from Nick King as well. So 38-31. Counter run here by Mono Vampire. Jeremiah Gray.
Let's go, Ala.
Hesitating. Back to Gray. Couldn't finish with the left. And here comes Knowles. Knowles to Singletary. He has Brickman. Oh! Ganuela's roster with a chase down, but the putback coming from Moses Morgan.
6-0 run by Mono Vampire. All the while we thought Alab Pilipinas was going to come close. But now it's still a 9-point lead.
Mono Vampire opening up the lead here. Ooh, that's going to be a travel on King. Turnover, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. We got a timeout on the floor here. Let's take a look at this move. Singletary and the rejection coming from Ganuela's roster, but the cleanup job for Moses Morgan to stretch the lead to 9 points, 40-31. Coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. We will take a quick scan of Jeremiah Gray's performance against Hong Kong Eastern right there in Southern Stadium in Wan Chai, Hong Kong. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 dimes, and more importantly, 3 blocks. 2 of them coming in the last 2 minutes, including the potential, this one, The potential game-winning shot coming from John Shu denied by Jeremiah Gray.
As I mentioned, Martin, he's going to be the X factor for Alab all season long. Great numbers against Hong Kong Eastern. He's averaging 8 points, close to 4 rebounds, and close to 3 assists per ball game. So quality numbers for the starter for Coach Jimmy.
Especially if you are, the fourth option on offense already after the Free World imports. So Alab Pilipinas down by 9 here. They got to stop on the other side. Let's see what they can do here on offense. Brickman handling it. They go to King. He's got Morgan. Good bounce pass inside to Ganuelas Rosser.
That was the result of the double on Nick King. That's why Ganuelas Rosser was free for that dump.
And Nick King with a key time here to cut the lead to 7 points here. 33-40. Lamb for 3. That's going to be off. Brickman starting it. And Brickman has the rock. He will set the table. Gray. They got a lot of time to work with. Williams has struggled in this game so far. They go to King. Wraparound pass to Ganuelas Rosser. Goes outside. So a turnover.
He actually wanted to repeat that pass.
Yeah.
And then miscommunication that end. Jordan Heading checks back in the ball game. I've yet to see his shooting stroke today.
That's right. Hasn't taken a shot, I believe. Is Jordan Heading, hasn't taken a shot. Preston Knowles inside.
Taking a good rest. Preston Knowles, but then he's a big guard. It'll be a challenge on how Jason Brickman will guard him.
It looks like that is the game plan, to make him work at the post.
That's true.
Maya Gray going to Jason Brickman on top here. Shot clock is down to 5. Brickman to King. Stolen away. Alab Pilipinas turnover. Singletary. Lamb straight to the cup.
Transition defense should be consistent. That is the name of the game for Mono Vampire.
And Tyler Lamb has 9 points so far. Maya Gray, 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Lead has ballooned to 11. Gray partially deflected. And here comes Singletary. Nose bounces it to Mike Singletary, who had the free lane to the basket. He gets fouled in the process as well.
The hustle and effort of Mono Vampire has been consistent. Ever since the first quarter, they've been running the floor better. They've been filling in the gaps better. That's why they get these types of baskets in transition.
Yeah, they've been running more here. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas so far finding it hard to contain Mono Vampire on the break. And Singletary will look to complete the three-point play. Short on the free throw. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists so far. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. The two-man game, Nick King. Oh! That is a rejection coming from Singletary. Brickman getting the steal on the other end, trying to escape Mike here.
Let's go, let's go.
Quick counter steal from Brickman, and he will facilitate. Brickman sending it out to King. King to Deguara. Big Sam went all the way out. Brickman for 3. Brickman with his third triple of the game.
3 out of 3, as you mentioned. Martin, Sam Deguara with that recognition, he was out. He knew that his shooter was free. That's why Jason Brickman hit that three-pointer.
9 points for Jason Brickman, all from Rainbow Country. And the lead has been chopped to 10. The count. And let's take a look at the numbers from Tyler Lamb against the Singapore Slingers. Yeah, it was an off night for Lamb. 2 out of 14 from the field. only 6 points, which is, very far from his average. So he is looking to bounce back here, and so far he has been successful. He's got 9 points, 4 out of 9 from the field. Lam usually averages 16 points a game. So these are subpar numbers for Tyler Lam against the Singapore Slingers. But here against Alab, it's a different story so far.
Mono Vampire has been an offensive factory. 5 players averaging in double figures. Tyler Lam, as you mentioned, 16 to 17 points per game.
5 players?
5 players
Wow.
averaging in double figures.
Look at that. The offense of Mono Vampire and Preston Knowles adding to the woes of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Lead is back up to 12. He has a chance to add to that at the free throw line. Coach Andrej Urlip, the Slovenian head coach, barking instructions in this dead ball situation. Under a minute remaining, 58.2 seconds left. Knowles completes it. So now, it's Coach Jimmy Alapag's turn to burn a timeout. They are down by 13. Here in the Philippines, hug cam here. I hope they hug. This is a hug cam, okay.
Show the love.
There we go. I hope someone actually reminds them that they're on cam here. Okay, hug cam. So far. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. And it's great to see our Filipino fans loving the game of basketball on a Sunday night.
It's a family affair here. Whole family's here. There you go. Several waves here. Good sized crowd, by the way, here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. And this is the biggest lead for Mono Vampire at 13 points, 49-36. And they get the steal. Lam, the bounce to Preston. Back to Tyler, lobbing it up to Morrison. Back outside. Singletary rotating it to Morgan, who swishes the free.
It's a 4-out offense. Everybody is a threat for Mono Vampire. And so far, if you focus on the Guara, it actually slows the game down. And it's kind of predictable on the offense for Alab. Everybody else has to step up and be a threat to be able to make a run.
So 5-second differential now between the clocks. Brickman heading for 3, and heading knocks it down.
Finally breaks the silence.
First shot, first 3-point shot as well, coming from Jordan Heading. And that's gonna be the final buzzer here in the second quarter and in the first half. Mono Vampire breaking the game wide open here, Migs. Up by as many as 16 points, maintaining the 13-point lead going into the halftime break.
It's because of the crisp passing, especially towards the end of the second quarter, which causes for Alab the defense of Alab rather, to be late. That's why Singletary was open for that corner jump shot. And it's been so far so good for Mono Vampire.
Moses Morgan providing the last basket to stretch the lead back to 13 points here. Halftime stats, analysis, highlights coming your way. This is the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10 right here on SNN. 52-39. Mono Vampire visiting squad ahead here by 13 big points. Let's take a look at first some of the highlights of the first half. And Mono Vampire got the fast start here in this ball game. Got the early double-digit lead, but the comeback came quickly for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas as well. But it was a different story, Migs. came the second quarter because it was just a 6-point lead after the first 10 minutes. Mono Vampire, turning it up in the second frame and then extending their lead by as many as 16 points at one point earlier.
Story of the game for Mono Vampire so far is the talent of their wingmen. Singletary, Lamb, Morgan. Also, you have a force down low in Mike Morrison. So far, he's been upping the game. He's been has that advantage against his matchup in a Sam DeGuara, and also 52% Martin for Mono Vampire, making 21 shots, 21 baskets. That has been the key for this Thailand club. That's why they are up by a big margin.
And as what Jeremiah Gray mentioned earlier in his interview with Diana Perlas, they were only able to prepare for a day against Mono Vampire compared to their 9-day preparation against Hong Kong Eastern. They only came back from Hong Kong a couple of days ago, so that might be a factor here, Mix. And the fatigue kicking in for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but no excuses against this Mono team because they're really going to be playing their best basketball here as we take a look at some of the numbers here at the half.
Mono Vampire has been more efficient on the offensive rebounds. Even though they have 8 offensive rebounds, they have converted better on the second chance. 13-8 plus 5 on that end. Also 23 rebounds for Mono Vampire. But what has been the key is bench points. 13 bench points for Mono Vampire, only compared to 11 by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Moses Morgan has been a key off the bench with 7 points. Freddy Leash also bringing in some numbers, even though he only has 2 points, but he has been a good complement for Preston Knowles at that point guard spot.
That's right, numbers here, and you see there 3 more shots for Mono Vampire at 40-37, but 7 more made field goals for the visiting squad, and that's why they have the 13-point lead. When we return, second half action coming your way here in your ABL 10 right here on SNA. Second half action now underway. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 10 right here on SNA. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, the home team, going up against Mono Vampire, the visiting squad, and Sam DeGuara opening up the second half with the first basket, just like how we started the ball game. A big Sam bucket to open the half.
Also same starters for Coach Jimmy Alabag.
And also for Coach Andres Urlep, sticking with the starting unit here. Preston Knowles against Brickman. Knowles, contested shot, will not drop, and here comes Jeremiah Gray.
They got to push the basketball for Alab Pilipinas to create more possessions. They have a tough task in getting back from an 11-point lead as much as possible. They have to get many more attempts as possible here in the third.
Here is King. The bounce to Brickman, kicking it out to King. Extra pass to Williams. Williams short on the free. He is 2 out of 8 now from the field. And Tyler Lamb will get it to Knowles. Preston stops on a dime, gets it out to Lamb. They've got 14 seconds to work with. Knowles to Morrison, down the lane. Easy lay-in for Mike Morrison there.
That's the mismatch created by Preston Knowles. That's why the defense adjusted. And Morrison was free.
King, Alab Pilipinas trying to find answers here. A minute and a half gone. Williams gets in, bounce pass to King. Good play coming from Williams and King. Singletary on the quick answer, no good. And Alab Pilipinas off and running. Here's the bounce, Nick King jams it home on the receiving end.
Great give and go by King and Maya Gray. Gray recognized that King was cutting towards the basket and everybody helped on Maya Gray. That's why Gray was able to drop it down low to King.
4 quick ones coming from Nick King, and that's going to be a turnover against Preston Knowles. Jason Brickman causing that turnover. And let's take a look at this play. Prince Williams getting it to Nick King. Royalty of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas working. And then Jeremiah Gray following that with the dime to King as well. But Prince Williams' pass was too strong. Nick King unable to handle it. 45-54. 2.5 gone in the third quarter. Preston Knowles. Lamb had daylight for that shot, and he knocks it in.
Once again, there have been countless possessions that the shooters have been popping out because of the good screens set by their big men.
Morrison taps it out. Gray to Deguara. Big Sam losing it. And it goes out of bounds, so Sam Deguara commits the turnover. And Big Sam actually struggled against Hong Kong Eastern. He had 6 turnovers in that game. And with Mono Vampire, you know, they know how to play Big Sam. They know how to force those turnovers against him. Knowles going to Lamb here. Tyler lobs it up. Morrison trying to put Deguara on the poster, but it doesn't work. And Nick King getting fouled by Singletary. Morrison is still down. Mike Morrison slow to get up. And, well, he runs back to the other side here. Here's the, well, potential poster coming from Mike Morrison, just unable to make it.
Awkward landing.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay. That was non-contact, but he was able to shrug it off. One thing I noticed, you know, through the years, of course, covering ABL, World Imports, especially them, they're warriors.
Yeah.
They give it day in and day out. They play hard every time. And it's like they never, you know, they never get tired.
That's right. They are given a huge responsibility.
That's true.
To lead their teams to wins. Here's Singletary. Huge chunk of the offense will come from the World Imports. And that's Singletary making his move. It is a 12-point advantage, by the way, for Mono Vampire still. Knowles, back to him from the corner. Knowles, nothing but net.
That is the height advantage. He has that confidence over Jason Brickman.
11 points now for Preston Knowles. Getting it to Big Sam. Deguara to Williams. Williams to the corner. Brickman driving. Extra pass to Heading for 3, and he rips the cord.
2 out of 2 for Jordan Heading. Great patience on the offense, on the extra passes by Alab Pilipinas.
Knowles driving, drop off to Morrison, who calmly bangs it in.
Hard to stop
Yeah.
Mike Morrison.
17 points now for Morrison, and that's how quickly Mono operates on the other side. And that's gonna be a foul here against Deguara. Nick King unable to make the shot. Let's take a look at the ball movement here of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, leaving Jordan Heading open from the left, from the right wing rather.
Lawrence Domingo is injected for some more energy on the defensive end and on the hustle. That is what they need, Martin. Still a 14-point lead.
Yeah, and still unable to get over the hump here. Earlier, they were able to chop the lead down to 9 points. It was 54-45, but an 8-3 run by Mono Vampire, able to extend the lead back up to 14. Singletary, no good. Heading, sky's high for the board. And Heading is on the move. Jordan going to Brickman. Jason picks it up and recovers. Almost halfway done here in the third period. Brickman, 4-3. He's been perfect so far. That's his first miss. Williams on the reset here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Shot clock reads 8. Williams will work Tyler Lamb. Williams with a foul from behind against Tyler.
Bailout call. Tyler Lamb was not happy. And that was an ISO play of that fresh 14. And he actually has the capability to do it. Work off isolation plays.
And Tyler Lamb, third personal foul, will be replaced by Moses Morgan. And Boone Serm is back on the court. He replaces Mike Singletary. Freddie Leash is also back in. Heading. 14-point lead faced by Alab Pilipinas. Williams on the drive. Loses the rock. And it goes to Mono. So a timeout here. Let's see. That was the initial call of our Coliseum announcer. Okay. So they overturn it. And we go to a quick timeout here with Mono Vampire ahead by still 14. Back to our hug cam segment here. Our families are
More than just a hug.
Yeah, we are gifted with a kiss right here on our hug cam. Okay, second feature for these guys. Let's see if they're gonna do it right. There you go. That's how you do it. Different families here enjoying the action in Caloocan City in the Philippines. Again, we are here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex for the home game of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. There you go. Happy couples here. And this is how you create a stronger bond with your significant other, especially here in the Philippines.
It's not every day.
Watching basketball, yeah.
It's not every day you get to be seen on TV.
Correct.
While hugging.
Yeah.
You're creating that bond, as you mentioned.
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna look for that recording,
Yeah.
and then trim it, and then save it on their phones.
And post it.
Post it, that's right. For the memories. So back to the action here.
Or for the day.
That's right. Jordan heading. In and out on the triple. That's his first miss also. From 3-point range, Freddie Leash. Bringing this one downhill against the taller and longer Williams. Ananti against Brickman. They go to Morrison here. Lodo getting him. Morrison, a tough shot. And Heading rips away the rebound. Heading. Brickman thought about it, leans closer. Floater is deflected by Morrison. So that's the length of Mike Morrison working there on the defensive side. But Mono will turn the ball over. So Alab Pilipinas getting it back. But can they capitalize? Andre Karakut is back in.
It's
Yes.
going to be the speed, Martin, on how Alab may outrun Mono Vampire in this sequence. They have the tools.
And they've done it. You know, they beat Mono in their second encounter. But again, key personnel, key changes for both Alab and Mono. So they're not fielding in the exact same lineup tonight as Karakut gets fouled in shooting motion because for Alab Pilipinas, they still had Khalif Wyatt in that game instead of Prince Williams.
Martin, great job by Mono Vampire in limiting Alab's offense. Nobody's scoring yet in double figures for Team Alab, while Mono Vampire has 3 players scoring in double figures. Mike Morrison has 17, Tyler Lamb has 12, and Preston Knowles has 11.
That's right, key factors so far here. Offense of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Very dry so far. Andre Karakut scoring on the free throw. And much needed points coming from San Miguel Alab Pilipinas here from the young guard from De La Salle University. 62-50, 2 for 2 for Andre. 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. Freddie Leash. Moses Morgan. Goes to Chichay on top. Looking for Tirawat. Tirawat provides the screen. Chichay, no, with the left hand. And there's a foul.
Well, that was a great getaway move by Chicha and Anti, using the screen very well, everything but the shot.
Just unable to get the lefty lay-in to drop. And Moses Morgan called for the foul. So Alab Pilipinas will get it.
crucial possession for Alab Pilipinas. They have the chance to trim this lead down to single digits.
A perfect chance for an uprising for Alab Pilipinas. Singletary thought he got the clean tap from behind, but eventually he was called for the foul. So with Mono now in the penalty, this is a weapon Alab Pilipinas can use with 3 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Might be a good idea to
Attack the
take
basket.
it strong.
Yeah,
That's
take it
right.
strong and not actually settle for the outside shots. Well, you can, given if there are free opportunities, but then as much as possible, the priority or the first option should be driving towards the hole.
That's right. And hopefully draw the foul. So Prince Williams to the free throw line.
And especially Martin Samdeguara is in the bench. They have more scorers that can penetrate to the hole.
That's right. So Freddy Leash here. Hard screen by Chantachon. Leash running into trouble. Sending it out. Williams catching the pass. Williams is on the move. Williams gets fouled by Moses Morgan.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. And now, at this point, before Williams takes the free throws, let's go to Ayana Perlas again. Ayana?
Martin Miggs lacking majorly on defense and setting the pace on a bad note in the first half. Coach Jimmy Alapag uttered that with the way they are playing, they are giving Mono the advantage in today's game. Now in the dugout, Coach Jimmy Alapag emphasized on the team's ball movements, shot selection, and making stops if they want to win today. Back to you.
That's right, Ayana. Thank you so much. And that's going to be key here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They are dealt with these cards in this ball game, you know, at this point down by 9 points. But so far they're starting to hum here, Migs. And so far they are making the right plays. Preston Knowles called for the offensive foul there. And Andre Karakut looking for the unsportsmanlike foul.
And actually, Preston Knowles was contesting. That was not an unsportsmanlike, but as we can see this again, Preston Knowles actually just wanted to create some separation. Ooh. Maybe because of the whiplash, but then words are exchanged.
And this is between Lawrence Domingo and Moses Morgan. All right, 62-54, that is the count as we go to this quick timeout. An 8-point lead maintained here by the visiting squad, Mono Vampire Basketball Club from Thailand. More hug cam moments. Oh, we'll go to the Pakyut moments here. Okay, Pakyut cam. Mix, do the honors of explaining to our international viewers what Pakyut means in the Philippines.
From the root word cute.
I love it.
You'll try to be cute.
Oh, okay.
That is the maybe Filipino translation to this type of segment. But Filipinos, as our international viewers are enjoying this game, in the Philippines, basketball is commonly known as a family affair.
That's right.
It's where a lot of children, a lot of babies, a lot of couples, lots of couples. And I just, safe to say, everybody's cute.
That was a very admirable job in explaining what Pakyut means here in the Philippines. All right. 62-54. Action continues. Ball in the hands of Prince Williams. For three! And Prince Williams ripping the cord on that one. He trims the lead to 5. Morgan almost losing it. Singletary on the drive. Took it strong. Met by Ganuelas Rosser. And there's going to be a whistle here against Brandon. By the way, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in the midst of a 7-0 run to chop the lead to 5.
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that foul. That was okay
Yeah.
if you're Brandon Canuela's roster because you're actually preventing the momentum. Preventing this one, these easy baskets.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there, that would have been an easy layup by Michael Singletary. But now if you're Alab, you just have to make Mono earn their points from the line. And true enough, that was a good foul. Free throw was missed.
Turned out to be a good foul for Brandon Canuela's roster as Mike Singletary misses the first. And Mike here, 6'6", 6'7". Very talented player, averaging 22 points a game for Mono Vampire. He goes 1 out of 2. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third.
Because if you're Alab now, you want to increase the physicality, the hustle, and the effort. That's how you're going to get some momentum.
Williams on top, just hit a 3 earlier. And Canuela's roster, extra pass, Karakut for 3. It's going to be off, and Singletary rips out the board. Here comes Mono again on the counter attack. Chichay Ananti has the rock. Chichay feeding Big Tirawat underneath.
That was the chemistry by Chichay Ananti and Chantachon inside.
And those two guys very familiar with each other. They've been playing with each other a long, long time now. Good find! That's Karakut connecting with Jordan Heading. 59-65, 8 points now for Jordan. Preston Knowles. Knowles on the running jumper, it's good. Knowles with a silencer.
That was a great defense, but better offense by Preston Knowles. That control.
Williams on the cut. You know, Alab Pilipinas in this stretch moving the ball very well.
Credit the team effort by Alab Pilipinas, moving the ball well.
And Andre Karakut will be charged with the foul here. But Alab Pilipinas not yet in the penalty. That's only the third team foul. Chichay Ananti to Big Tirawat Chantachon inside. And after that, it was Karakut who found Heading. So local to local action from both sides of the court.
Jordan Heading giving some quality numbers.
Singletary. Again, strong move to the basket there. Karakut called for the foul, his second straight foul. This is the cut earlier by Prince Williams. Getting it from Brandon Canuela's roster. So Singletary is back at the free throw line.
Battle of free throws towards the end of the third quarter. Both teams are at the penalty.
That's right. 11 points now for Mike Singletary.
But also Martin, for Mono Vampire, they're not also settling for the outside shots. You can also see them moving the ball well, driving towards the basket, looking for the better shots. So they're not just settling for the threes.
That's right. So far, fantastic movement from Mono on offense and consistent as well in this game. Prince Williams, the feed to Canuela's roster. And Singletary on the block called for the foul. And he couldn't believe it.
It would
Singletary,
be, it would be great now, Martin, as much as the 5 of Alab is doing a great job on defense and getting the momentum, as we can see this good drop inside. It may be a wise idea to inject Nick King at the big spot, replacing either Canuela's roster or Lawrence Domingo, to generate more offense heading into the fourth quarter. Because as much as possible, you want to lower down the lead so that when you enter the fourth, you will have some bit of momentum to get a good start in the final period.
That's right, especially with Mike Morrison right now on the bench of Mono Vampire. So 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It is Preston Knowles. Singletary getting the pick. Singletary attacking again, and that's going to be another foul on San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Mike Singletary getting a lot of fouls from Alab in this stretch.
It will also be interesting if Alab may try the zone defense, because your shooters make that a single tally in notes, you can actually contest them. And they have a quicker lineup to be able to recover just in case shooters will put it up.
Yeah, because Singletary has been destroying the single coverage thrown at him by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And 2 for 2 for Mike. Lead is back up to 9, 71-62, 36.8 seconds remaining. Williams, quick shot. Oh, and why not? He rips the cord on that triple. 65-71. Prince Williams cuts the lead to 6. Knowles to Singletary. And Singletary will back up. He's got Ganuelas Rosser. 6 seconds left. He lets it fly. And that's a foul on Lawrence Domingo. And Coach Andrej Urlep furious here on the sideline at Moses Morgan, I think. And Ganuelas Rosser also slow to get up. So free throws coming for Mike.
You can see this again, Martin. That was a hard screen by Chon Tachon. That's why Lawrence Domingo was forced to help out because he knew that Singletary can just pull it up quick.
Yeah.
And because he was late on the recover, Cardinal rule in basketball never fouled a jump shooter, but he had actually quite no other choice on that end. And hopefully Ganuelas Rosser is okay. He kind of tweaked his ankle, but right now he's good.
Yeah. He remains on the court here. Singletary heads to the line. This is, I think, his third or fourth consecutive trip to the free throw line. Mike Singletary taking advantage of that foul situation by Alab earlier. Williams. 8 seconds remaining to get a shot off here before we end the
Great
third.
strategy, Martin, by Mono to pressure the D, and
Oh.
good job.
Knowles taking it away. The heave. Singletary. Too strong off the mark. And that's how we will end the third quarter of action here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. Migs, it's still Mono Vampire ahead by 8 points here, 73-65.
But it has been the second unit of Alab Pilipinas that actually inched them closer without Sam Tiguara, without Jeremiah Gray. Credit Prince Williams, Andre Caracut, Lawrence Domingo, and them for kind of inching closer inside. But they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of work to catch up on start fourth quarter.
Let's see what the theme will be in the fourth and final frame. That is coming up next here in your ABL 10 on SNA. On a Sunday, it's January 26, 2020. Happy Chinese New Year as well to all of our Chinese viewers here of the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. Rise to greatness. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas Mono Vampire Basketball Club from Thailand. Their third encounter of the season. Again, a quick update. If you guys were just tuned in, they're 1-1 in the season series so far. First one taken by Mono, second one taken by Alab. And this is to break the tie. They meet 4 times in the season. So this is the second to the last as we take a look at the quarter scoring here. Alab Pilipinas getting the edge in that big third quarter mix.
And also in the second quarter, that's why they had that great momentum heading in to the third quarter. 26 and 26 first and second quarters. That is a high-scoring output for Mono Vampire.
So Mono able to reach the 20s in all of the quarters so far, putting up 73 points here as we begin the fourth and final quarter. And Mike Morrison and Sam Deguara both back on the floor for their respective teams. Morrison, quick jumper, and that panker again is available for Mike Morrison.
He just took his time. He knew that there was a mismatch on that switch. That's why he was confident in knocking down that bank shot for Mike Morrison.
And the lead is back up to double figures. Oh, Paraco to heading, saving it to Gray. 6 seconds to work with for Jeremiah Gray here.
Has to take this.
3 seconds. Gray on the drive, floats it up. And that shot is off pat as the time ended. As it expired, a foul was whistled.
Bailout call for Jeremiah Gray. Usually, shot clock winding down, you just let the offense take it and just play good defense.
So Jeremiah Gray rewarded here with 2 free throws. And what a decision makes to drive the basketball. A lot of people would have taken the heave from the three-point line.
That's true. That's why when he took the drive, I wasn't so sure if he was aware of the shot clock.
Yeah.
But then credit the quickness and the handles of Maya Gray. That's why he was able to beat him on that first step. Able to drive with just 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
He's rewarded with these 2 free throws.
And Jeremiah Gray knocking down the first, just averaging 8 points per game, but his unparalleled impact on the floor on both sides. And that's why he gets a lot of minutes for Coach Jimmy Alapag. 67 to 75 here. 1 minute gone in the fourth quarter. Tyler Lamb. They go to Preston Knowles. Knowles, fadeaway jumper is good. And that's over Brickman again.
That has been easy all game for Preston Knowles against Jason Brickman. I actually thought Andre Caragot was also playing good defense against Preston Knowles. There's more pressure, there's more bumps.
And immediately, you know, Mono recognizing that situation, going back to Preston Knowles on offense. And that's a foul here on the other side against Mono Vampire. Unclear who is it on. So Mike Morrison is called for the personal, third one on him. Here's the lob to Sam Deguara. Oh, that's another one on Mike. That's going to be number 4. One more. He exits the game.
But then Mike Morrison was claiming that the elbow was there. But as you can see, the hand was behind. He was hugging Deguara. That's why he was called for the foul.
That's right.
And you're not going to call that elbow, that rested elbow. You're actually going to call that contact hindering the offense from where he needs to be.
That's right. Well put, Miggs. Gray is open. Oh, nothing but net for Jeremiah.
One also factor to consider, that's why shooters keep on shooting the basket, is because of the net. It's thin. That is why when you want to take a shot, it's really swish inside.
Extra satisfaction for shooters here.
That's true. That plays a factor.
That's right. Chantachon. Lamb from straight away. Lamb knocks it down. Oh, what an answer by Tyler Lamb.
And you feel like the ring is bigger for some reason. That's why shooters are able to knock down their shots.
Deguara had position against Chantachon. And good recognition from King to feed it to Big Sam because he had the 6'3" Terawat Chantachon on him. But this is going to be number 4 on Tyler Lamb. So foul was on him. And Sam Deguara heads to the free throw line. So far, Big Sam, a non-factor on offense. He only has 8 points in the ball game in 6 attempts. Sam swishes in the first.
Well, reason is now, Martin, especially time is not on the side of Alab Pilipinas. If you keep on feeding Sam Deguara the basketball, yes, it has its positives, but you will actually compromise the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
It will actually slow the game down, and in this position and in this time of the ball game for Alab Pilipinas, you need as many possessions as possible.
Oh, that's a great point. But Deguara stays on the court here. And speaking of turning up the pace, Mono Vampire quickly running to the offensive side. And Tyler Lam scoring on the reverse plus the foul. Let's go first to Ayana Perlas for her report. Ayana?
Martin makes, if in their game against Hong Kong they started out strong, well, in today's match that isn't the case. But just like what the coaching staff uttered, they can always turn things around. Mono, just like what you mentioned, they are known for starting out strong, but if there is one thing Alab is known for, it's for their mid-game hustle. Now, one player who truly hustled, Prince Williams, who is now just in his second game with Alab. Coach Jimmy Alapag mentioned that he had absolutely no problem gelling with the team, which can definitely be seen in today's match. Your thoughts?
Prince Williams, a better game for him here against Mono. 20 points compared to his 14 against Hong Kong Eastern. So fitting in seamlessly is Prince Williams for this team. And he also helps that he has unlimited range. And that has that smooth stroke on his jump shot. And speaking of Prince Williams going to the line here for 2 shots. Number 4 now on Mike Singletary. So 4 fouls for Mike Singletary, Tyler Lamb, and Mike Morrison. That's a situation for Mono Vampire.
And the situation all game long is that Mono Vampire, for our viewers who just tuning in, Mono Vampire has been in control all game long.
Yeah.
And every time Alab Pilipinas wants to make a run, they always have answers.
Correct. And that's a sign of, you know, a team that's been spending a lot of time together.
Being composed, having experiences, maturity, that's right.
So 73 to 83, 2 for 2 for Prince Williams. Lamb, back to him against Gray. Lamb driving. Singletary with 6 seconds. Mike flips it up and in.
That's just great one-on-one. Great one-on-one move by Mike Singletary.
18 big ones for Singletary. Jeremiah on the reverse. Good pass from Brickman.
They've been doing that all game long, those backdoor cuts for Alab Pilipinas.
12 for Gray. Here's Knowles. Preston Knowles behind the back, the spin. And here's the shot from Preston. Wow.
That's been the issue, just trading baskets. And that has been the result of maturity in the chemistry of Mono Vampire.
Williams from the corner, and Williams knocking it down from deep. He's got 23 points now. But as you mentioned, Alab Pilipinas cannot exchange baskets here. They need a stop if they want to inch closer. Singletary is up against King. Singletary from straight away, off the mark. So this could be a start for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They need to convert.
Crucial possession here.
It's Nick King who had to adjust. No good on the first, no good on the second. Battle for the rebound, ending up with Knowles, and a foul called against King.
One more thing for Mono Vampire, every time a shot is put up, as we can see this backdoor cut by Jeremiah Gray, just putting the defense to skates. One crucial factor is again assist by a Brickman to Prince Williams for a 3. As I mentioned, the crucial factor for Mono Vampire is that every time a shot is put up, everybody's inside. At least 3 guys are in the paint to get for those rebounds.
And again, unable to provide an answer is San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Posted problem by Mono Vampire as Chantachon banks that one home. So even Terawat joining the party here. King for 3, short. Left it short on that shot. And Tyler Lamb here bringing the ball down. Almost halfway done in the 4th quarter. Mono Vampire able to maintain the 11-point lead. Singletary. Morgan pulls the trigger. Couldn't find a target. Brickman to Gray. Gray not opting to take it. Instead goes to Williams. They go to Deguara, cross court to King. King for three, still off. And Tyler Lamb saving it to the right guy. Morgan was right there. Morgan will attack and will be called for the offensive foul.
Right call against Moses Morgan. He actually lifted his elbow. That's why it hit the body of Williams.
So that's going to be another foul here on Moses Morgan. Timeout, halfway done in the fourth. Mono Vampire ahead by 11. Alab will have the ball in the next possession. To the coverage. Next 5 games here for Mono Vampire. Well, we shift the season series to Stadium 29 in Bangkok. Alab Pilipinas will go there to face Mono Vampire. After that, it's going to be Saigon Heat on the road. And then, well, 4 out of the 5 next games for Mono Vampire will be at home. Only 1 road game, which is in the CIS Arena in Ho Chi Minh City versus the Saigon Heat. So that's something they can actually take advantage of. Could create a winning streak here. Mono Vampire ahead here by 11 points. Under 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Prince Williams, he's got 22, pull-up jumper at the best shot possible for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas there.
And Prince Williams apologizing to Coach Jimmy Alapag, not the best of shots. I believe they wanted to, you know, rotate the basketball.
Yeah. Morgan from the corner, short. And Domingo gets the board. Alab Pilipinas, well, interestingly, slowing it down here. Williams goes around, flips it to Heading. Heading, too strong on the triple try. Leash gets it. 4 minutes remaining. And Freddie Leash will handle for Mono. Shot clock is down to 10. Leash from the free throw line. Freddie Leash getting the deuce. Mono Vampire up to 91 points now. And the lead has been extended to 33 and 46 remaining. Under 4 minutes remaining in this one. On a Sunday here in the Philippines, we take a look at the next 5 games for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and this is not an easy schedule at all. A couple of free home games actually in the next 5, all in Santa Rosa, and a couple of road games, including one against Mono at Stadium 29, which is going to be the next one on January 30, and against the Kuala Lumpur Dragons right there in Mabo Stadium.
Currently, Martin, Alab Pilipinas is at 6-3. The 3 losses came from Mono, came from Macau Wolf Warriors, and 1 from Singapore Slingers.
That's right. Those are the losses for Alab Pilipinas. Big Sam had to carve space to get that hoop. 80 to 91. 11 points now for Deguara. Check this. Morrison, Singletary, Lamb, and Knowles accounting for 72 of Mono's 91 points and make that 74 now of the 93 of Mono. As Singletary scores his 20th point off the game. Heading. Going to Deguara. Deguara on the spin. Big Sam scores again.
Actually, credit that drop step by Sam Deguara. He was actually far from the ring, but because of his length, because of his size, his drop step, he was just right there for the easy layup.
And I think he is really taking it to Morrison because Morrison has 4 fouls. Float shot will not work. Morrison on the second try. No good, but we have a foul against Deguara.
You can see this again, Martin. This post-up move was actually far from the basket, the jump shooting range, but that drop step inside, pushing Morrison away.
Yeah.
That's actually back-to-back possessions. I was talking about this one right here. The scooting his way in, and Morrison was deflated after that basket.
A little bit hard to score against Deguara. And this is a strong guy. Has a big frame, has that heft as well. So really a tough job for Morrison tonight, but he's holding his ground. You know, against Big Sam. Sam has 13 in limited minutes. Morrison's second one.
20 points.
Oh, 20. Oh, there you
21.
go. So Morrison. Williams. They go to Deguara again. Big Sam kicking it out, heading for 3. Too strong. Heading, another attempt. He misses again. And the rebound is grabbed by Knowles.
He flew high for the rebound. And that might be key for Alab to get back in this game. Put it on the post, make the defense help, kick it out to the shooters. You need threes right now.
Lamb driving. Lamb dishing. Pass deflected. And Alab Pilipinas will get the steal. Last push here for Alab. Lodo on the move. Lodo flips it up and in. Down to 11.
Full court press for Alab Pilipinas. Was 4 stops right now.
And Leash is up against Brickman. This is a better matchup for Jason Brickman defensively. Singletary driving. Stopping on a dime and feeding Morrison underneath.
As I mentioned in the third quarter, the story of the game was exchanging baskets. And right now, story's still the same.
Williams, all the way, no good. Deguara with the offensive board. And that's going to be the 5th foul on Mike Morrison.
A great effort by Mike Morrison. And Martin, I must credit. Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, last foul on Mike Morrison right there. And look at that. Deguara ripping out the rebound, and then Morrison had no choice but to foul Big Sam.
Going back to my point, Sam Deguara has been in the ABL for quite some time. And that has been the strategy against him, to bump him, to play physical, to push him out. But it takes a lot of mental effort, mental toughness to actually not get mad or not lose your cool. And he has a cool personality, mild-mannered.
Yeah, talking about Big Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't get rattled a lot.
That's true.
Very composed player. And he knows because he's that big.
All his life. Yes,
That's right.
It's been that position.
He knows that the other players will really take it to him game in, game out. And Big Sam able to convert on the second one. 85 to 97. And that's going to be a kick ball maintained here by Mono Vampire. 85-97, a minute and 4 seconds remaining.
It has been the hot shooting of Mono Vampire. That's why they had the separation all game long.
And again, the way they were able to maintain it Very admirable effort here on the road for a team from Thailand. Singletary drops it in. 100 to 85 now.
54% from the field.
And they get it to Deguara, who misses the dunk. One more time for Big Sam. And Mono Vampire, well, they will maintain that #1 position here in the ASEAN Basketball League. Alab Pilipinas, on the other hand, with 36.6 seconds remaining, will go down to 6-4.
52%, Martin, at the half is Mono Vampire. Now they had a better shooting output in the third and fourth quarter. 54%, that's no joke.
Yeah.
Especially in a basketball game. Usually it's only 30 to 40%, but to actually shoot 50 all game long, that's something special.
Knowles gets the rebound and some finishing touches here in the last 20 seconds of this game. Deguara on the second effort. Obviously not enough for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas here. They were unable to really overcome this lead. You know, I think it was down to at least 7 points earlier in the 5 points rather in the third quarter. But Mono, again, they were able to maintain their composure and maintain their lead. Was just admirable in this game. They win it by 13, 102 to 89 against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And more importantly, they take the, season series lead, winning twice against Alab now here in the season, and moving up to 9-3 so far to maintain the best record in the ABL.
Together with this win, Martin, by Mono Vampire, the Macau Black Bears also took home the win with a 17-point lead against the Hong Kong Eastern, 97 to 80.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned creating separation. Solo first place are the Mono Vampire at 9-3, and it has been the offense and the hot shooting of Mike Singletary, Mike Morrison, Tyler Lamb. You have Moses Morgan, Fred Elish also putting in some quality numbers. Just too much for Alab Pilipinas this game.
102-89. You see the updated team standings, or at least records, from both teams here. 9-3 for Mono Vampire and now 6-4 for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They will need to regroup quickly as they try to face Mono again in their next game, January 30th. But they go back to Mono's home in Stadium 29 in Bangkok, Thailand. Let's take a look at the player of the game here, and it is Mike Singletary of Mono Vampire. An efficient outing for Mike today. 23 points, 8 rebounds, and I remember earlier, when Mono was actually struggling from the field, struggling to find his or their rhythm on the court, Mike Singletary just forced the issue and got himself to the line, and that's how they were able to get some points in.
Now averaging 21.9 points per game, a double-double for him. Double-double averages for Mike Singletary, 21 and 10, and he is the leading scorer for Mono Vampire.
Just on his average here in the season. As we take a look at the schedule, next 5 games for Alab Pilipinas. As I mentioned earlier, next one will be against Mono Vampire in Stadium 29. Afterwards, they will face Singapore in Santa Rosa, back here in the Philippines on February 2. Feb 4 in Malaysia, Saigon Heat, back here in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and also a home game on Feb 16 against the Macau Black Bears. So that's the remaining schedule. A tough one for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but one they have to live with here if they want to improve their record here in the ABL. All right, so that does it for us here, Migs. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure working with you, Martin. And of course, Alab Pilipinas need to bounce back. May this be a lesson for them to improve their defense and also the way they run their offense. But then so far so good still for Coach Jimmy and his team. But we were mentioning a while ago the experience, the chemistry, the maturity of Mono Vampire, just bringing to us this season a great way to play basketball.
102-89 victory for Mono Vampire on behalf of the entire broadcast team right here on SNA. My partner Mix Bustos, our courtside reporter Ayana Perlas. This is Martin Javier saying good night, thank you, and see you guys in the next game right here in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. Rise to greatness.
open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh, everyone!